Hi there! Welcome and welcome back to the Whole Bucket and another episode of How Do You Do? Here it is. That, ginormous tab-bound idea journal that I was putting together on, when did that go out? Friday? Friday. So now it should be Monday when you're seeing this. And I got it all together. And today we're going to start working on some stuff. And the very, very first thing I'm going to do before we get into this stuff that I have to do stuff with, I'm going to get this out of the journal and we're going to work on some of that in a minute. First though, I'm going to take this gesso that had some weird colors in it, and it was only a tiny bit left in the jar, and I put some water in it and shook it all up, and whatever I get out of this, that's what I'm getting. And I'm going to gesso this book cover. So hopefully the watercolor should totally seep through. And what I'm hoping to get is bleed through of all this watercolor behind the gesso. We're already getting some streaking, so to some degree it's gonna work. And and apparently I wanted to wear some gesso. Some toning down of these super dark bright colors, because I want it a little bit more relaxed than the painting. Whoops. So that's what we're doing first, and then we're going to put this aside and let it dry. And we'll see what we end up with in a few. If it stays just the way it's looking right now, I will be a little sad because honestly, the gesso should soak up a bunch of the color, and so far it doesn't look like it's doing that. And then I did all that painting for nothing, which would kind of be a bummer. I think what I'll do to maybe help it, if I can find one of my water containers. Here, we'll use this bowl. That ought to be interesting because it's got a bunch of green in it. So I wonder if everything's going to turn green now. Maybe. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little water. And yeah, the green is waking up too. I just won't dip so hard. I love green, but I don't want the whole thing green. So, if I get it wet, will that help the underneath stuff bleed through the gesso? That's the big question. We shall see. Okay. Let's set that aside and let it do whatever it's gonna do. And once it dries, we can also do it on the back. So here is some stuff we're going to work on while that dries. So first off was some bits for the color. And I believe this was the one I wanted to use. I also pulled some of this. This is some of mesh lining. The fabric that I used for the tabs and that I'm going to use for any place that I want to inside the journal is from Pillow Sham. This is from inside the lining of that Pillow Sham. So I'm thinking, oh, and there's some cut up bits from it. So I'm thinking I want to go, oh, and look, I got, whatever. I'm always such a mess. Good grief. I'm thinking I want to do something like this. on the cover. I don't know what I want to do with those. I don't know why I even picked them up, because they're not really part of what I was thinking. But then I'm having a tough time remembering what I was thinking. Maybe I wanted to do this. Oh, I bet I did, because it's books and tea, and I like that. This must be for inside. Let's see if there's something else I was thinking. Not there. So it must have been this stuff. So I wondered if I wanted to go maybe like this, and maybe, wait, maybe the leaf and the flower, like so, and maybe this big decoration, maybe this big decoration thing down here. That looks a bit silly. How about coming out from underneath over here? That also looks pretty silly. Maybe not one of those. Maybe one of these. I actually kind of like that. Okay. What if we added a paper leaf? Well, okay, I don't know if I want a big one or a small one or a double one. Let's try these out. What if we did this? Coming out to kind of join that whole thing together like that. Maybe some layered leaves. Maybe even combine the leaves. I'm not really in love with this. I don't really like that flower, for one. At least not for the cover. I kind of like the leaf bit though. Maybe I could cut out some more of those. If I just combined fabric leaves and paper leaves in a little cluster here and a little cluster there, maybe that's what I want to do. Okay, let's take a look. Here are some more pieces that I have cut out. You know what? I forgot to turn this light on. I thought things looked a little shadowy, a little extra shadowy. So let's play with these extra pieces. Let's see what we can get. I don't know if I like the leaves turned over to this side, but these pieces really do work either direction. Okay, there are some really skinny bits like this too. I could cut a stripe out. It comes out of this, the pattern. This was on the back, so this is the piece I have, these skinny pieces, and then The fatter ones of the solid is what I used on the tabs, and that's good on the back too. The leaves, let me see. Yeah, none of the leaves are going to be great on the back side because they have that white stitching. But I don't know if that's terrible. So let's do some trying it out and talk it through and see what we come up with. I'm going to start with this right here because I always like darker on the bottom and lighter as it goes to the top. And they were positioned okay, so let's get this back in position and adjust because I moved stuff. And then maybe I thought I had more paper leaves than that. Do I not? Nope, looks like just those little chunks right there. Okay, so let's put all of this stuff off to the side and just do those and these, and I don't want that or that, I don't think. So we're just going to adjust with these little bits that we have right here. Or design, I guess I should say. What if we used only fabric leaves? Like, I wonder if that. I know I said I like the dark stuff on the bottom, but not all. We need some contrast, right? What if that goes up there? And this one goes over here. And we're just doing opposites so far. Nope, that looks dumb. Nope, that looks dumb. Okay, I like the way that looks, but it leaves an ugly spot right here. I don't have another one of these, so maybe this could go here. Like so-ish. Honestly, now it just looks like I'm getting carried away. This just looks like way too much. Way too much. What if I just minimize this one by tucking it farther behind? I can kind of do the same with the dark leaf. And I can kind of minimize by pulling this down farther. I don't hate this because it leaves the base sturdy, the sturdier bit. But it does leave this edge really ugly. I wonder if this goes down here. Maybe this goes down here with, nope, not a double leaf because it's kind of already got two leaf bits. Maybe like that. Maybe like this. Maybe like so. All right. I will move everything out of my way so I can tell if this is a cover piece. Oh, I will like. Get back in there. Do your job. Of course, now I messed everything up. Of course I did. because I'm good at that. It takes years and years of completely not practicing anything to be such a fabulous mess maker. I'm telling you. Okay. Now, remove this and see if that's a good book cover piece. With some minor adjusting, I think this might work. So, I'm going to move these things off up here. I'm going to move these things off down here because they're the bottom bits. And I'm going to do something a little risky. And put this bit down on the wet cover. In the same place I think it's actually going to end up going. Let's see what we get. Nothing. Okay. I thought it might soak up a little bit of color or whatever, and it just didn't. I wonder if this is just drying that fast. Yeah, it kind of is. Oh my. All right. Look it. I tried to soak some up and it really didn't pull much up either. It's literally drying that fast. That is a little surprising. Okay, so we have this piece. I think I'm going to smear on a little black and hopefully just have it be enough to, oh, what's the word? Shadow it a bit. We shall see. I don't think you'll really be able to tell if this was a good idea or a bad idea until I get it on the cover and all the pieces attached, because right now it looks a little too dramatic, a little too dark. Maybe I should have used a gray instead of black, but it is a very see-through little fabricy bit, so I'm wondering if it won't be as dramatic as it looks when it's on the cover. We'll see. We're learning stuff. I like learning stuff. Okay, so this is gonna go really right there, kind of no matter what. So I'm gonna pull over a piece of wax paper. So that we can glue this and not glue it to my desktop. But I want to glue it just kind of across the middle because I don't want the whole thing glued just yet. I also want to edge everything. Just to make each bit pop a little bit off the page. A tiny bit. And off of each other, right? I might even reprint this same page and cut out a new teacup so that it will stand out a little bit. So I think I want this right here. If this turns out wrong, it should be easy enough to tear this off and start over. It is just gauzy after all, right? So I only glued down that tiny bit so that we can do the actual arranging. And get things where they look as good as we can. Okay, so I'm going to try for that. And then I think it was over here. And this was on the side. That's going to come right off of the cover if I do it where I want it. I'm going to try one thing. What if this is pulled over more? And that sits like that. And then it has a leaf coming down. Then, what if the top tucks down farther? Because when it stuck up too far, it just looked too much going on for my taste. So if we take that down quite a bit, then this was going the opposite direction, but we want to tuck that back quite a lot too. This comes out the side. This is behind the other leaf, I think, but on top of the other stuff. Ah! No! Stop! It would help if that stem wasn't sticking up so far. Get down. Okay. On top of there, but under there, I think. Okay, I think that looks ridiculous. That's what I think. I think it needs to go the same direction. And I don't like it in that order. So I'm going to put this here. This here. And this there. And then I want this moved completely. Because I don't want that corner sticking out. So what if I do that? And then this. Okay, and I got to get my hands away without moving anything. Okay, there we go. Yes. this is what I'm going to do. So, I have some leaves to edge, and that's it for the edging bit, because I don't think I'm going to do the fabric leaves. Okay. I just inked this when I was doing the other part, and it is getting a little carried away. I may have overdone it a bit, but it's a very enthusiastic ink pad right now. And I need to be a little careful. I'm not great at careful. Okay, I'll leave those two sit up there, and we'll do some top-down gluing. So the top right here is, in fact, right here. Now I got glue where I don't want it. Okay. There we go. Then we'll do over here. Do that bit right there. Oh! Okay, my glue is leaking all over the place. Alright, there we go. There we go. I think we need a spot of glue under here. The spot of glue is coming through here and discoloring the fabric, which is Fabri-Tac, so it really shouldn't do that. I'm not happy. Alright, let's do some top down up here as well. You think if it's fabric specialized glue, it shouldn't discolor fabric. I mean, I'm just saying. Okay, let's glue these two together quick so I keep those at the height I want. I have glue strings everywhere. I think I'll go ahead and glue this leaf down. Maybe. That was not cool. And it moved. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Okay. Okay, let's get this little spot of glue right there, because that's kind of misbehaving. Okay. Now, get those last two in place, wherever they were. I think this was something like this. Am I right? Something like so. Stop moving. Alright, I'm just going to go with it. So let's get a tiny spot. Whoops. Let's get a spot of glue under there. And a spot of glue right there. that one cover up all the other bits. Looks like we're in a spot of bother over here, so we need a spot of glue over here. And there we go. That's what I'm doing for cover art at the moment. So I am not adding a ton of color to anything quite yet. And if I reprint this, or you know what, I might already have it reprinted. I'm going to cut that out and put it on there. And if I do have it already reprinted, it's going to be in color. So I will do like just the teacup in color. I think that'll look super cool. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll look silly. But I'm aiming for super cool. Alright, so I think we can pick this up. Just got to get that wax paper off. And this will go about here on the cover. So there's what we have. And I like how the watercolors are bleeding through, but I mean, they're not bleeding through as much as I would have liked, or as even as I would have liked, but I think this is actually cooler than I would have done, because I would have over fussed, and now it's a little bit on the more organic side than I would have allowed it to be, because I over fussed till things are no longer cool. It's what I do. Alright, so there's my cover art. I don't know if we can put it on until the cover is drier. Sorry, I needed a little drink of coffee. So, let's move this to the side. Once the glue on that cover piece dries more, I will go back and glue more pieces of it. But since I have them in places I like, I'm not going to move it. Now, what's next? I don't know what's next. So, let me introduce you to my version of tabs. Where's the done piece? I have a done piece somewhere. Huh. Okay, well, I mean, we don't really need it necessarily. Okay, so I don't know if you have one of these. There's the separate piece, or there's this kind of piece, or whatever, but this is a punch for making envelopes. And I use it to make book tabs, or page tabs. And then I decorate those page tabs all at once. And then I cut them apart. I don't know that we're going to do all that today, but I'm at least going to show you how I do the tabs. Oh, there's the one that's done. Okay, so here is one that's done. Cutting, I mean, it's not done. I've done no decorating. And this is really the only piece with any color that I've chosen to do in the base of this book. And here's what it starts out with. This is just a strip of paper, and it is 1.5 inches wide, and the length doesn't really matter. As long as it's more than, you know, a few inches. But 1.5 inches wide, and then I fold it in half the hot dog way. And then I start using my envelope punch. And what I do is, to get the first edge, is center this. So there's the spot where the paper goes in, and I center this on that punch as best I can. So there it's, you know, all the way in, all the way out, and then it's coming in, and it's just stop right there at the center. Then I go over to the 2-inch spot. So this paper edge is at 2 inches. It's too glary, you can't see that. There's the 2. So this paper edge is at the 2 mark or so. Okay, and then I punch again. Then the next one, I put the 2 as close to the center of these 2 as I can. It's a bit of a weird angle. It doesn't necessarily look, that looks pretty centered in the camera. It doesn't look centered in person though, so I'm going to move it where it looks like it's centered to me. And then hit it again, and just keep doing the same thing. Center it on the 2. Center it on the 2. Center it on the 2. Come on, a little more, a little more. Okay. Then we have that big strip. You might say, what do you do with that? You chop it off. That's it. Just chop it off. If I wanted larger, these are pretty small tabs, right? 2-inch tabs. I think standard tabs are 3 inches. I think, maybe. They might be 2.5. But they're bigger than that. So it's not any different, right? If I want bigger tabs, I'm just going to fold this and center that dip on whatever mark I want. There we go. All right, so I'm going to chop off the white border where the printer doesn't print. And I'll do some bigger ones because I don't know what I'm going to want. I have no idea. None. And I'm going to start the exact same way. Right in the center of that spot. And then let's do some that are 3 inches. So that's a pretty big tab. Wait, we got to get those out of underneath. I heard it getting kind of, I heard them rattling under there. That's a big tab. So let's go ahead and do a few at 3 inches. And I think only 3 are going to fit then. Beautiful. Alright, so wait a minute. Did I do that one right? Yeah, I did. Okay, it just looks different to me. Chop that off. Ta-da! And let's do one more. And I think we'll do this one at 2.5. Because I don't think I'm going to want them any bigger than 3. I don't think. But like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Since all of this stuff is going to be for a project that I don't even know what's going to happen in the project, I want to be ready for whatever. So I'm making a bunch of generic pieces that can either go in there ahead of time and just be very generic, or can be in a supply pot, right? Oh, so yeah, the fold part, not the open part, goes in case, I mean, I didn't say that. I guess I thought it wasn't necessary to say it, but then I thought, wait a minute, you've cut them upside down sometimes. And I've cut them upside down. And then they're just really not page tabs. They're just sort of weird shaped pieces of paper. All right, let's do some at 2.5. 2.5, about there-ish. And about there-ish. And about there. And can we get a fourth one? I think we can. 2.5 is kind of a good size for this paper. Okay, there we go. And then we got a whole bunch of these little things. I haven't figured out what to use them for, but I do try each time because look, they're these little ornament shaped pieces, right? There's gotta be a use for those. There's gotta be. Okay, so now we have 2-inch tabs, 2.5-inch tabs, and even 3-inch tabs. Whoa! Cool beans, man. Cool beans. So, I'm not really sure how I want to decorate these right now because I really don't have a writing space here. And I don't want to over decorate. Again, because I don't know what I'm going to want. I want things fairly neutral. But I do have strips of tabs that I can use should I decide tabs are appropriate for something. And I know that they need writing space. So what if I take this? This is the cardstock from one of the bits I cut out. You can see that. So what if I take it and, well, I didn't mean to cut there. All right. What if I just do that? And then take out this weird little cutter I have. I shouldn't be that judgmental at this little cutter because it does a fine job. It's just, I think it was for a particular set of stuff. Because it has a drawer and I'm not sure what goes in the drawer. And I just bought it secondhand once upon a time. But look how nice it cuts. I mean, like all guillotine cutters, right? They are just handy. All right, so if I want some writing space on the 2-inch ones, let's see how long I want it. Well, I could do it at about, I'll just do it 1 inch, and then this way 1 inch by oh, good grief. No, let's do it 1 1/4 Jeez, by 1/2. I'm going to do a strip 1 1/4. I have an idea. We'll see if it works. 1 1/4, and then I want the strips to be 1/2 inch. I think that's 1/2 inch. I'm not sure. Let's find out. Is that 1/2? It is, right at that line, right at the metal. So for the 2-inch ones, if it's 1 1/4 by 1/2. Now here's what I thought. I thought because it would stick up at the top, right? What if I took my straight little corner snipper and just snipped the edges off? Would that then fit? Yeah, look at that. I super like that. So this is tedious as all get out, isn't it? Look at this. itty bitty. Now I want it trimmed on the bottom too. I thought I was only going to do the tops, but yep. And then, as always, because it's me, edges must be inked. I'm telling you, it's the rules. If anybody tells you different, they lied, and the art goblins will come get you. Look at that. Very nice. That is so cute. And that is totally ready to add the word, whatever it is you're going to put on this page, and it's totally ready for any decoration, tiny bits that you might have. And then the back is where I would do more embellishment. But let's go ahead and cut some of these and get one section. We'll just get one little piece done. These are so tiny. I mean, this would be the reason to not do the 2-inch size if you don't like fiddling with tiny stuff. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 4. 5. Woohoo! All right, let's do some corners. Snip, snip. If you have a corner trumper like this, you would not really be able to get them in if they were shorter than this. This is already kind of, what? I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's tough for my fat little fingers to get it into the spot where it needs to be chomped. So I don't recommend, I don't recommend. All right, we're getting a thing, we're getting a thing. There we go. And one more after this, and then we'll get them glued in place. There we go. Next. Okay, there we go. All right. Oh my, what have I done? I'm messing up my whole desk. Okay. Sorry, I had to pause a sec there. I bet you noticed that. So let's get these in place. I am quite, oh my gosh, that glue grabbed way too fast. It is surprising how much the weather plays a role in what adhesives work and how they work, and our tools and how they work. Okay, one more. Oh, how cute. Love these. Love these. All right, so then that's about how I do that. And then the other side gets decorated. And this is where I might put this little flower, because, you know, that looks lovely. And I might put, you know, a piece of this stuff. I don't know why, but I might. I don't think I will, because that looks a little silly, but it could happen. Let's cut out a leaf and see if we might put a leaf there. Maybe. No, I'm not really impressed with that much. It's not a very leafy looking leaf. I'm going to try this one right here. What I really need is a bunch more tiny stuff, right? And that might come along as we're going through this project. Either through this project, the How Do You Do project, or through the Defember project, which is next month, which is where I'll be using this book. I mean, yeah, could happen anywhere that tiny decorations will come along. What if I do that? Oops, I didn't mean to do it so choppy, but what if I like when you fray the edges. Wow, that one frayed a lot. That was fun. You know, just pull all the threads out. Yeah, actually that's kind of cute once you trim it down. So I'm going to cut it shorter and fray the end again. Okay, yeah, I like that better now. And then I just need one more piece of something. So what if I do one? Let's see what we got over here. Oh, wait, there's a better piece because it's already been chopped up. So what if I do just a plain one? And I'll see if I can get this frayed, but not too tiny. Because I have a feeling this is going to get awfully skinny once you pull some of these threads out. Sure enough, they just come out like crazy. All right. Need a couple more from this side. Yeah, I think I pulled that off. So what about that? Needs to be a little shorter. Okay, well, now that was a tiny trim. Let's see if that worked. You know what? I want it even smaller. Not the middle. I want to give this frayed edge a trim. I really should be using my other scissor for this, shouldn't I? Something a little more detail oriented. There we go. I should be using a detailing scissors for that. Okay, so there is that way, and there is that way. I like it the other way better. All right, so I'm going to glue those down. I'm not sure that I'm thrilled with this because I don't really like this. I really don't like this flower. Poor flower. I'm so judgmental at it. I'm going to trim the leaves down, just try to get it inside its containment space. Well, it's still not inside, but it is better. And let's get it glued down. Now, more bits and pieces, more decorations, something colorful, something who knows what. I was watching Casey at Casey Street, and he was doing some tabs and putting all kinds of eyelets in them and dangles on them and rusty metal bits and pieces. They were fabulous looking. And, you know, you could do all of that stuff on these. There's really no limit. My only limit right now is that I need them to stay available to more things. They need to be expendable. So this is just sort of a base to create a mood. So let's cut these apart and see what we ended up with. Now, when you want to use your strip of tabs, just go like this. Yeah. There we go. Now we have a fairly neutral set of matching tabs that are decorated on one side, oops, and ready for writing on the other. Okay, so there is my other project for the day, and we will call it right there. Let's pull the journal aside. I mean, pull it aside. Put it aside or pull it back. So we're going to pull it back. And if it's dry enough, we're going to get the art in place. And if it's dry enough to get the art in place, we will also put all these bits and pieces back away inside the book so that they're there for next time. Okay. Got a bit curly. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that. I learned that tab books are very, very flexible. I didn't know that because I've never had one. It makes sense. I guess I just never really thought of it. So is this dry enough? Yeah, it really is. All right, so be it. Let's get this in place. This is the thing. We're doing this. Oh my. I am not going to go too crazy with the glue. For the same reason I'm not really committing 100% to anything, right? Because I don't know what's going to change later. And the less I'm not going to glue a lot of the edges and stuff because I want to be able to tuck in or over or what have you. Should I decide to expand upon this. Okay, ready? Oh my goodness, this is a little frightening. It's going right there anyway. Squash! All right, there we go. Put a little under here. All right, let me know what you think. There's my cover so far. I have made a commitment to at least this piece. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on right there, peeps. I'm going to look at something quick. I wonder if... Okay. Nope. 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 Look at this though, guys. I mean, I have a bunch of this stuff already cut out. I don't know where it is. But look. All these little tiny teacups. Look at lemons and macarons, think about these on those tabs, right? Especially if I printed them smaller, they'd work even better, and I usually do that, so I'm probably gonna do that. There's that teacup on the book right there. So I think, I mean, I don't know if I printed it that small or if it's in more than one place. Let me look quick. Yep, it's in more than one place. So what if, guys, what if I cut that teapot out, or teacup, gosh darn my words, and put it right there? Not the book, just the cup. Let's find out. And through the magic of television, ta-da! Oh my goodness, that is exactly what I want to do. I'm just going to do it right now with you. That is exactly what I was thinking. So often it doesn't turn out to be what I thought. That didn't work right. That doesn't look right. What happened there is what I say much more often than, oh. Okay, let's get some glue on this puppy. And we're done for today. I like it. I like it. Blarg. Okay. All right, there we go. That is what I wanted to do. That is exactly what I was hoping for at least that part. The cover is not exactly what I was hoping for, but look at how well these colors that did bleed through, right, go with this piece right here. I mean, it's not what I originally thought or envisioned or hoped, but I mean, maybe what I hoped wasn't going to turn out as good as this, because this goes. It totally goes, peeps. And then we made these little guys. Where's the other one? What did I... Okay, I haven't moved from this chair. How did I lose one? Oh, they're stuck together. That makes more sense. So we made little tab strips and decorated them at least partially. Put little labels on so that they can be labeled. Huh. That's kind of goofy in the word department. And we made a collage kind of piece for the book cover. Tell me what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. This is How Do You Do? And check out all the other artists who are participating in How Do You Do. And if you are also participating, make sure that you use the hashtag How Do You Do in your description and in your title, so we can come see what it is you're coming up with this tea time kit. Link to this kit will also be in the description. All right. Thank you. See you next time.